Christmas Eve, a time for joy, a time for families. But this year, a shadow fell across the heart of the nation. Princess Susannah of Beaumont, beloved by all, was gone, snatched away. A grainy image flickered onto television screens, a hooded figure, a single demand. The ransom? Not money, not power, but something far more terrifying. The Prime Minister stared at the screen, his face ashen. The weight of the nation of 60 million souls pressed down on him. He knew the demand was insane, a cruel joke in the face of tragedy. But the kidnapper's threat was clear: comply or the princess dies. The clock was ticking. Each second was a hammer blow to his resolve. His advisors buzzed around him, their faces etched with worry. They threw out strategies, possibilities, desperate throws of the dice. But the truth hung heavy in the air. They were clueless. The kidnapper was a phantom, his motives a chilling enigma. The nation held its breath, united in fear and uncertainty. Christmas, once a beacon of hope, now felt like a cruel parody. The police worked tirelessly, their investigation a blur of activity. Cyber specialists hunched over glowing screens, chasing ghosts in the digital ether. Detectives interviewed, interrogated, and dissected every piece of evidence, every whisper, every rumor. But the kidnapper was a phantom, leaving no trace, no digital footprint, no connection to the world they understood. Days turned into a sleepless blur. The pressure was immense, a crushing weight on everyone involved. Leads appeared and vanished like mirages in the desert. Dead ends littered their path. The kidnapper was always one step ahead, a puppet master playing a terrifying game with the nation's heart. The Prime Minister, his face etched with fatigue, watched the reports with growing despair. He felt responsible, a shepherd who had failed his flock. The weight of Susannah's life, the hopes of a nation, rested squarely on his shoulders. The silence from the kidnapper was deafening. It spoke of meticulous planning, of cold, calculated cruelty. The nightmare was far from over. In the war room, amidst maps and timelines, a chilling proposal was made. A digital doppelganger, a staged act. Find a woman who resembled the princess, a professional. The internet wouldn't know the difference, would it? The suggestion hung in the air, cold and sterile. The Prime Minister recoiled, the blood draining from his face. His stomach churned at the thought. A digital effigy offered up to appease a monster. Was this the world they lived in now, where truth was a malleable plaything sacrificed on the altar of expediency? He dismissed the idea with a shake of his head. Some lines you just don't cross, his advisors argued, their voices laced with desperation. They spoke of public perception, of the need to be seen to act. They spoke of the greater good. But the Prime Minister knew that some evils, once embraced, could never be undone. He would not sacrifice his integrity, the very soul of the nation, for a charade. The story exploded. It wasn't just news anymore, it was a wildfire, consuming every corner of the internet. Hashtags trended, opinions raged, and speculation ran rampant. News channels ran 24/7 coverage, their screens a cacophony of talking heads and scrolling tickers. The public, hungry for any scrap of information, devoured it all. Social media became a battleground. Armchair detectives emerged, weaving elaborate theories from thin air. Moral crusaders condemned the kidnapper, their words heavy with righteous anger. Others, their empathy warped by the digital arena, questioned the princess's choices, blaming the victim for her own misfortune. The weight of their scrutiny, their judgment, bore down on the Prime Minister. He felt like an insect under a microscope, his every move dissected, analyzed, and found wanting. The line between reality and the digital world blurred. He was no longer a man, but a symbol, a lightning rod for a nation's fear and anger.